Hello and welcome to round 9 of Invictus Racing League's F2 Championship. I'm your commentator H Racing Green once again here for you. I'm accidentally in the on the grid there, on the thing, as I didn't actually remember to click spectate before the lobby started, but we'll make do. I've got Lee Mather in my left ear and it's incredibly frustrating, but here we are at the Albert Park circuit for the Australian Grand Prix. Here we have championship leader, I think he's championship leader, Notorious LIP in the Ferrari. Yes, he is championship leader by 5 points over Delange in the Haas. We've got Jamie Met also out on track. He is currently 7th in the championship, hunting down in only one Kentucky for 6th position. And then it's Nitrogash, not having the best of seasons, but hopefully he'll be looking to turn his form around here. We've got Void's Card, part of the Super Sauber team, that are currently on a supreme run of form at the moment. An incredibly strong race in Monza, and they've really been having strong races for the past number of rounds now, and I'm sure they'll be aiming to continue that form as we progress through the season. We've also got Sir Spurd out on circuit, the Mercedes driver. The other Mercedes, Mike, also out, as is No Fudge For You. Let's ride then. Ooh, let's ride then with Sir Spud. Let's add all that in, and we'll ride on board with him as he starts his first flying lap of the session. He's a brake for turn 1, a tricky right-hander, gets that done pretty nicely actually. He's now going to head along the back straight. Void's Cod sits at 22.8 to start off the proceedings. Uses a lot of curve on the outside of turn 3. Then it's through turn 4. He may well have actually invalidated his lap time by running that wide on the exit, but we'll have to see how he goes. Only other cars that have set times so far, No Fudge For You with a 23.6 and Jamie Met with a 127 flat. Kilo comes across with a 24.7. Through the tricky 11-12 chicane, he cuts that by a fair amount. Is that possibly an invalidation there? If it wasn't earlier, that could well have been there. Through the penultimate corner, and then the tricky right-hander runs a little wide, opens DRS. As he then makes his run for the line, it's going to be a 23.4. So that puts him P2, for 6 tenths behind Void's Card at the moment though. The only cars not to set a time, Craig and Miles. Obviously I'm not setting a time. Other drivers of note, we've got Delange second in the championship with the 23.4. He's currently 3rd and is and championship leader down in 8th with a 24.7. Let's take a look at how he is getting on. I think he may be coming into the pits this lap. Yes, I think he's yes, he is. He's just short shifting. Everyone else is coming in as well. So that's the end of the first run of laps. We've got just over 6 minutes left to go in the session. And can Void's Card hold on to his provisional pole position that he currently holds, or anyone else out on track? Crikey, he's got the rev limiting glitch, which is never fun. See if we can get rid of that. No. So it sounds like he's going to blow up any minute now. Everyone else is in the pits. Spud actually not in the pits. He's, oh no, here he is, he's in. So it's going to be everybody in. Everyone resetting new tyres, take all the fuel out again. And they will head out for their second runs, I would imagine, with about 3 minutes left to go in the session. With a little bit of downtime in between. Now, meanwhile you can enjoy the sultry tones of Lee Mather, which everyone always enjoys.
Double world champion Fernando Alonso, 16th year race Formula 1. Valtteri Bottas won to watch this year and to replace the reigning Drivers' champion Nico Rosberg.
So, taking a look quickly there at the tyres that people have selected, only Nitrogas with the super soft tyres going for the middle option of tyre available at this race. Not paying off for him too much at the moment, 2.1 seconds off pole. And 2 tenths off the car ahead, which is Kilo, who currently has an exclamation mark as a tyre choice. Apparently those are possible now. Someone just went past my ear. It's Miles. Miles is out on track. Let's take a look at him. How is he doing? He's negotiating the first corner at the moment. He's going to open his DRS, he's going to try and improve. Well, I mean, he's not set a time yet, so he's going to want to be moving up. He brakes very late. Oh, he's missed the apex by quite a way there. And it's through the left. He's going to accelerate through this right-hand kink. Oh my word, he gets the line through there very wrong. Ends up running extremely wide onto the grass, touches the grass again. Oh, misses that apex entirely as well. Spins, he's in the wall. That is the end of his qualifying effort, so he's not going to have time to get round into the pit for a new wing and get back out again to set a lap, I don't think. So I think that is his effort over. Maybe he'll try and set a time, but that's not looking likely either at the moment. And now we get the sound from breaking his wing. That's brilliant. Why have we got cars with exclamation marks for tyres? He's clearly on the ultra soft, so there's no exclamation mark inside. Same with Clyde. He's not even on the track. Let's ride with Kilo then. He comes around on his out lap, not doing an awful lot to warm the tyres. You want to be saving those tyres to make sure they're in prime condition for the flying lap and in as good a condition as they can be for when he starts the race on this compound, providing he does indeed start in the top 10. Got a few cars out on track now. Let's watch now. Here we go. Kilo starts his flying lap. He opens it out onto the start-finish straight. DRS activated. He's going to cross the line as he changes into 8th gear. He's going to mark his braking point just after the 100-metre board. He turns in, hits that apex. Miles retires from the session. Not surprised there. Along the back straight. Brakes just after the 100-metre, locks up a little bit, misses that right-hander apex. He tries to extend the line of the corner, try and keep that line as wide and sweeping as possible, carry as much corner speed. Didn't quite pull it off as he comes through the right, just touches the curb on the inside. Nice through there, through this long right-hander. Try and keep it tucked onto the inside. He's going to move as far to the outside as possible for this one. Mind that massive curb on the inside of the corner. He's going to get the traction down nicely out of there. Easy to lose the car and hit that outside wall. He's going to through the long left-hand kink. He's going to want to hug that outside wall as he comes into the far chicane at 11 and 12. Cuts that a little bit. And through the right-hander. Not sure if he's even validated his lap by doing that, but we'll have to see. 1 minute 24 left in the session, so there is time to do another lap. I think he's backed out. Oh, he's run a little bit wide. I mean, he will be losing time now. Misses the apex out the right-hander. Tactics retires from the session. That's a 23.6 for him. He is done there. That's 5th place or lower for him now. No improvement possible. Kilo's going to accelerate out onto the start-finish straight. Does he improve? No, he does not. So he's going to go for another lap again. He does a 24.3 that lap, though. So despite the validation, he's 4 tenths quicker. He's going to try another lap, I think. There's a yellow in sector 2 as Craig is now P5. We've got Mike up to P2, but he's still half a second off Void's Cod. So Void's Cod really outpacing the field here. Through the right comes Kilo. He's now down to 12th. Clyde has retired from the session. It's a 24 flat for him, so he is currently 9th. Oh, he misses that apex. There does Kilo. Williams driver really on the edge on this lap. I mean, I think he's pushing. He's not lifting and coasting at any of the corners. Takes it really cautious through there, trying not to invalidate, but cuts that section as well. We'll have to see. I don't believe that he's dashed, but it says he's 50 seconds off. Through the right-hander. 3 corners to go. Through the penultimate corner, the tricky left-hand hairpin. Oh, tries to get the power down as early as possible. Swings the car around, actually gets a pretty nice run through that final corner thanks to that. He's down in 13th position now. He crosses the line. What can he do? That puts him up to 8th place. It's a 23.5. We ran on board with Kilo from the majority of the end of that session there. The other drivers who have done lap times, no fudge is now second with a 22.9, but pole position is confirmed for Void's Cod. It's Delange in 3rd, so the second place man in the championship with a good effort, a 23.1 for him. It's a Nicky in 4th, another strong showing from the Renault driver, 23.2. It's a Mike and Spud in 5th and 6th, solid showing from Mercedes. Craig in 7th, we've got Kilo in 8th, Tactics in 9th, it's Jamie Met in 10th. Clyde is pushed down to 11th. He will be the first of the fresh tyre starters. Notorious LIP only managing a 24.2, so the championship leader in a great deal of danger of losing his championship lead at this race. It's Nitric Ash with a 24.6 rounding out the field of people who have set times, and then only Miles did not set a time in the session. He will start last on the grid. So there you have it, there is your field. Now all the way down, I mean, I don't know why I'm there. I forgot to put my, put the thing on spectator before the lobby started, but hopefully that doesn't interfere too much. So there you have, there is your front row. It is Void's Cod and No Fudge locking out the front row. Delange, Nicky and Mike in the top 5. All of those guys will be in the hunt for the win. I'm sure all of them hungry to pick up some more points. Let's take a look at how those drivers are stacking up in the championship. Of course, Delange is key. He's only 5 points behind Notorious LIP. Mike is 3rd. He's only 2 points behind Delange, so he could be looking to make gains in the title fight as well. It is certainly a possibility that he could take this at the death. Craig down in 7th on the grid. He's currently 4th. Void's Cod is the pole sitter, is in 8th, having started the season late. The pole sitter is in 8th. If he takes a win now, that will certainly help boost him up the table. He said after Silverstone, when he took his first win, he was aiming for top 3. Looking at his form at the moment, that is certainly possible. We haven't got any sound, for whatever reason. Okay, we just don't have sound now. Who else? Nicky there. He is currently 10th in the title. There we go. And we are away for the formation lap. The Sauber leads us away. It is the Force India second, followed by the Haas. Everyone clean away for the formation lap. Thankfully, I'm not on the grid, so Miles will start in 14th position. And let's get the intervals up. Let's take a look at what tyres people are running. We have everyone obviously in the top 10 starting on those ultras that they qualified on, and then we've got 3 soft tyre runners, Clyde and LIP and Nitric Ash, all running the soft, and Miles going for the supers to start the race on. I believe this is a pretty easy one-stop ultra soft, super soft, I think, as Clyde and Jamie Met have clearly had contact. They will be starting from the grid with cold tyres, no formation lap for them. That leaves us with 12 drivers completing the formation. Woodcock taking them around fairly slowly here. Don't want to burn his tyres out on this formation lap. Keeping things all under control. Be interesting to see the gap between Nicky and Delange, possibly the Renault driver, dropping back a little bit from the front runners to see if he can cool their tyres when they're sat on the grid. But no, there we go. Woodcock slows them all down, bunches the field up for when they come round onto the grid. So he has to sit there for as little time as possible. Out they come then onto the grid as we gear up for this Australian Grand Prix. There's Craig in the McLaren lining up. We've got a horrible camera angle once again because this game is stupid about the formation lap. Here we are then, we're going to watch the start from behind them for some reason. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And away they go. I have no idea who's got the better start. Looks like Woodcock is going to maintain the lead into turn 1. Delange is attacking, no fudge. We've got a Renault at the inside of 2 Mercedes drivers. It is Nicky who is passing Mike and Sir Spud. Got Nicky up to 5th, Mike gets ahead. We've got the McLaren of Craig behind. Oh, and there's contact. Nicky clatters into the Mercedes and knocks the end plate off the left end of his front wing. Ferrari goes walkabout to the right-hand side. Notorious LIP, the championship leader there, down to 14th. I think that was the wayward Mercedes. But already Woodcock pulls out his 7/10 lead, well it's 9/10 now, over No Fudge. We've then got Delange, it's Mike in 4th, Nicky is down to 5th, so Spud is 6th, Craig maintains 7th, his Tactics at 1 place on Kilo, Jamie Met is 10th, Clyde is 11th, Nitrogash 12th, Miles makes up 1 place, and the championship leader is stone dead last. While his rivals are racking up the points there, his closest challengers in 3rd and 4th. And he is really going to be wanting to make progress. There is a yellow in sector 3 who has crashed. Clyde has crashed out. He's crashed at turns 11 and 12, I believe that is. Possibly lost the rear end coming out of 12. It's easy to do that. And he is in a miserable state of affairs. Having started on the harder tyre, possibly aiming to go long into the race, he has got to come in and make a stop. Nicky also in, so both the Renaults having absolutely disastrous starts to their races. And he's going to get a drive through. Yeah, there he goes. I've got a 5-second stop go because he has not slowed down in the pit lane. Promotes the championship leader up to 12th. He is chasing down Nitrogash in 11th, but that is not how he wants his race to be going. He's not even in the points at the moment. There's a long way to go, but he has got a lot of work to do if he wants to reduce the damage to his... Oh, and there's a spin. It's Kilo. It has spun into the wall. He has got very little in the way of front wing attached to the left-hand side of that. He's lost the rear coming out of turn 3. Not the trickiest traction zone, but clearly he was caught out. The Renaults have both opted to carry on, which is admirable. That has promoted the pit stops from Nicky has promoted Sir Spud to 5th, Craig 6th. Tactics now in 7th, Jamie is in 8th, Miles now up to 9th thanks to Nitrogash, Notorious LIP, Kilo, Nicky and Clyde all suffering hardship, and just as I say that I've cursed him. He has crashed out on the exit of turn 12. That is the inside, so he must have run wide on the exit of the right-hand part of the chicane, run onto the outside and hit that inside wall. His race is over, an absolute nightmare for him. Qualifying at the back and then is out by lap 2 of the race. We're going to cut back to Notorious LIP. He's looking to make a move on Nitrogash. This is for 9th position now. He's going to go up the inside into turn 1, into the right-hander. He gets the move done. I don't think there's any comeback from Nitrogash, although he does run wide through that left-hand section. Let's look at Nitrogash. Nitrogash actually missing a section of his front wing, so in fact not expecting too much of a battle from him, really. Notorious LIP also missing wing, though, so everyone really suffering in terms of front wing on that first couple of laps. He's now 9th, but he's 6 seconds behind the next car, which is his teammate, actually, so Notorious LIP really on a damage limitation effort here. Let's take a look. Tactics in the Sauber, chasing down Craig, who is in turn chasing down Sir Spud, looking like he has better pace than the Mercedes at the moment. He seems to really be hounding him. Here he comes. He's getting closer and closer along this back section of the circuit. Nowhere to pass here, really. He has a look, but actually compromises his line into the right-hander, as he did not tap back onto the racing line as they came into the corner. He's going to have another look here, but I think he's going to be too far away. This is a very short straight to have DRS on. It's really the next one where you take most advantage of it. This sort of just allows you to get close. He's going to come along here. Doesn't really make too many gains. He's going to come through the right at turn 1. So Spud makes an error. He gets on the AstroTurf on the inside of turn 2, and then going to be along this second straight. DRS open for the McLaren driver. He's moved to the outside. Spud has defended the inside, but a lovely move around the outside, and that is Craig up into 5th place. 4th place man in the championship, not taking any prisoners in this early stage. He's had a couple of races where he's had quite a lot of bad luck. He's been involved in incidents early on in the race and has had to do recovery drives. So he's running in 5th. He's not got anyone too far ahead of him now, so he can sit back, relax, know that unless he makes his own mistake, he might be in with a shout of getting a really solid points haul and trying to make up some of the ground he's lost in the championship in the last few rounds. There's a yellow in sector 3. Someone has spun. It is no fudge for you. Once again, no fudge. He went for the alternate strategy in Monza. It didn't quite pay off for him, and now he had such a strong qualifying, was running 2nd, but that has dropped him a long way down the field. I imagine he will have front wing damage, will likely have to pit, and that exit of turn 12 is really proving very dangerous for our drivers. It's much akin to Blanchimont a few rounds back that really took its toll on drivers in qualifying. In that intermediate qualifying session, it was drivers were crashing out their left, right and centre. But now, if we look at the race, we have our 2nd, 3rd and 4th in the championship currently running 2nd, 3rd and 4th in the race, with the leader now in 8th. No Fudge also gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Notorious in 8th position now. He's dropping back off of his teammate though, so he is not in a great position at the moment. There's a yellow in sector 3 again. It's Spud this time has just dropped a position. That is actually just through pure passing. Core Tactics has passed him for that position, and Sir Spud is now down to 6th and Tactics up to 5th. The Saubers again proving to have great pace, both of them. But if we take a look at this at the championship, what this means for the championship, Delange will take the lead, I believe, of the championship, or actually in fact he'll actually go equal. Sorry, he'll go equal in the Notorious LIP if the race finished like this. Mike would pull away from Craig ever so slightly, but Delange would pull away from Mike in turn as well. Clyde has retired from the session also. Taking a look at the gaps, let's change to intervals. We've got a 1.7 second gap between Mike and Delange. It's in 2.8 seconds between Craig and Mike. Sector 1, Sector 3 is currently yellow. Why is that? And we have a spinner. It is Void's Cod. Void's Cod has spun on the exit of turn 1. The race leader has knocked off the end of his front wing. He's made a very uncharacteristic mistake, and he is now going to have to do a whole lap with damage. And this has just been blown absolutely wide open. This now means that if I do some mental maths in my head a second, this means actually now that I think Delange will take the lead in the championship. Yeah, I believe that is so. I think Delange is going to take the lead in the championship. And Voigt's card, having had such a strong qualifying, taking that pole position, leading in the early stages, has fallen to, he's currently in 6th, but he's going to have to stop because he has such catastrophic front wing damage. We look at the understeer, we've got a yellow in sector 3 as well. Who's that? Someone else is in the wall. That is Clyde. That is the retired car of Clyde in the wall there on the exit of turn 12. It's an absolute disaster though for Voigt's card. We'll have to see what sort of recovery he can make. I imagine he's going to pit for a new wing. Fresh set tyres. There's Jamie Met. Jamie Met also front wing damage. Let's see if we can find someone without front wing damage. So Spurred, Tactics, Craig, Mike and Delange look like the only people without front wing damage at the moment, or people who haven't suffered front wing damage so far this race. This has been absolutely brutal so far in this Australian Grand Prix. Voigt's gone into the pits, will likely rejoin in 8th, I think. He's going to go, he's gone for more ultra soft. That's a brave call. Oh no, there we are, he's gone for soft, he's got soft tyres, there we are. Finally the game makes up its mind. He's gone for soft tyres, he's going to rejoin in 9th position, I think. Ahead of No Fudge. Oh, it's going to be tight as we head into turn 1. Voigt's car versus No Fudge. The people, somehow, those drivers who started P1 and 2 on the grid are now 9th and 10th. Absolutely incredible how this race has changed in such a short amount of time. It's taken just 7 laps for the entire order to be switched. I think that is. Let's just take a look at how people's... Yes, not one single person is in the same place they started the race. That is quite incredible. Excuse me. Let's take a look at the gaps. Nothing too close at the moment. The closest you've got, Nitrogash actually is up behind Voigt's card, who is a little way, who is about 1.2 now behind No Fudge. So I have to see how these two get on. It's Jamie Met who's the first of the Ultrasofts to make a scheduled stop, I believe. I think this is what he genuinely means to do. I mean, he's changing on to super soft tyres, ultra soft tyres, who knows at this point. Supers. Goes on super soft tyres with a fresh front wing, and away he goes. That's 8th place for him. I think the Force India and Sauber will maybe get ahead of him. Let's take a look as he comes out the pits. Yeah, you can just hear them go past. There we go. There's a Force India, there's a Sauber. It's going to be tight between the Red Bull and the Ferrari. Comes in. Oh my word, Nitrogash takes the direct racing line, does not take any prisoners. Absolutely cuts the nose off Jamie Met. Jamie Met on the supers, so I don't think he's going to be going to the end. I don't entirely sure if that was a scheduled stop. It's quite early for Ultras, but he was one of the longer runners to go with that broken front wing. But it has cost him now. He's down to 10th. Voigt's card is closing in on No Fudge. He's now 0.8 of a second behind, closing 4/10 this lap. As Tactics is in the pits as well, so I think people may well be... He's got 5 seconds stop go. People getting all sorts of 5 seconds stop go penalties in the pit lane at this race for some reason. I'm not really sure how people are having such trouble getting into the pit lane. They're just clicking the pit limiter. I know it's only a 37-mile-an-hour pit lane, but surely I'm actually quite surprised at how many drivers are being caught out by that. Let's take a look then. So, Notorious MIP has not made a stop. He is currently in 5th position. He's got front wing damage, so he is being forced to go for the long game. Voigt's card is out. Voigt's card is out of the race. He has knocked his front wing again on the exit of turn 1, and that is clearly enough for him. He has had enough. He will have to pit again, and to be honest, he would be so far behind. He'd probably be bordering on a lap down. Jamie Met gets a 3-second time penalty, but he is clearly not happy about that one. We're now going to wait to see when the drivers at the front are going to be making their stops. Delange is not stopping yet. He's got Mike 2.3 seconds behind him. Craig is in the pits. So the first of the front runners in this race is in the pits. And he is going on to a set of soft tyres. No, super soft. I really don't know. Super soft tyres. Super soft tyres. No, soft tyres. My God, this game is atrocious. He's gone on to a set of soft tyres, now the game has decided. And he will likely be trying to go to the end, I would guess. I mean, he's gone 9 laps on that set of ultras. He's actually been 10. Oh, as the Sauber comes around the outside. So Tactics has got ahead of Craig with the undercut. Also on the soft tyres, I think these guys will be looking to go to the end. I mean, 10 laps on ultras and then double that on the harder, on a compound 2 tiers up from that is not an unlikely prospect. So now we're going to have to see how these two are going to get on in comparison to the other drivers. We take a look at the gap to leader. They are 27 seconds down. So, and it's about 25 or so second pit lane, I believe. So we're going to have to see how and when the top 3 now pit and how they will be affected by Tactics and Craig's decision to pit early. Tactic pitted extremely early, so, and he has the 5 second stop go, of course, so if he has to stop again he will have to serve that or he'll have it added on to his race time. And both Delange and Mike are in the pits, so now we're going to see how Craig is going to get on in comparison. Craig's going to run the right hander and the second right, there's the tricky left, the hairpin for the penultimate corner. Mike and Delange also go for the soft tyres. Delange is just exiting the pit, so Spud stays out. Here comes the Ferrari of Notorious LIP, that is, so the championship leader. Oh, he's got wing damages on the same set of tyres, and now he is ahead of his closest challenger, and he is possibly going to want to hold him up as much as he can. If we look here now, we've got Tactics is ahead of Mike, and Mike is just about ahead of Craig. Possibly going to be passed pretty soon because Craig looks to be all over the back of the Mercedes driver. As I was actually saying before, Tactics pitted extremely early, so his softs may well start to wear beyond the point of being quick, being a viable tyre towards the end of the race, but we'll have to see how that goes, how his wear is and how he manages the tyres. We take a look at the stops briefly. We want that one and tyre. Here you go, stop. So only Surfsbird and Notorious LIP have not stopped. When Notorious does indeed hit, he will be, Delange has now passed Notorious, by the way. Notorious will be, well, he's there. Look, everyone now actually bunching up. I was trying to work out the pit stop differences, but everyone is bunching up here. Notorious with that damaged wing. Craig there actually fell back. I think he's made a mistake, run onto the gravel or something. But let's take a look. We're going to head to helicopter cam briefly. So Spud pits then, and I imagine he may well go onto a set of supers actually. Let's take a look at the tyre. No, he's gone for soft. Okay. But we are running with Tactics as he is going to make an assault on Notorious LIP. He's going to... Oh, he looks up inside of the championship leader. That wing damage really, really holding up the Ferrari man. And we're going to ride on board as he is going to attempt to defend from Tactics, who now has Mike and Craig right up behind him. LIP gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. He is clearly running off the circuit. He's with that wing damage, but he may also just be getting a little bit desperate, trying to keep the pace up by taking any liberties he can with the circuit. Tactics actually has front wing damage as well. He's clearly bumped it on something also, so front wings are taking an absolute beating in this race. So I think Tactics actually is going to be under threat from the guys behind more than anything. I mean, even if he does pass Notorious LIP, I think Mike and Craig are absolutely the ones to watch. Mike, sorry, does have not any front wing damage. Does not have any front wing damage, and oh, Tactic goes flying up the inside, bashes into Notorious. It was rough, but it was probably fair. Notorious probably should have just backed out of that one. And now Notorious has Craig to deal with. Craig also with a completely intact front wing. Craig actually backing off through that hairpin there, trying to stay out of the mess because it could really end horribly for these guys if they get tangled up with each other. Notorious LIP is dropping down the field, he's now pit stop behind all of his championship rivals. And if look at the gap to leader, Notorious 3.8. It's about 25 seconds. He's going to come about 28 seconds behind. He's going to probably come out in 9th position. If he stops, he's just going to continue to lose time, but I don't think he is going to be stopping for another 5 or 6 laps yet. Probably aiming to go onto the ultra soft tyres at the end, try and make up as much time as he possibly can, negate the damage done to his championship lead, which, I mean, unless he could get into, what is it, 4th or 5th place, it's guaranteed that he will be losing the championship lead here. But Craig, despite the damage on the Ferrari, can't seem to find a way past at this stage. He's going to need a really good run out of here. Notorious obviously not getting great runs through the fast corners thanks to his wing damage. Craig gets an excellent run. Just as I said, he's going to look up the inside. I think he's going to go for it. Oh, he has a look, but just backs out at the last second. It was a little bit too far of a stretch. Oh, up, looks around the outside, and he's actually now got Nicky right up behind him. Notorious runs wide onto the start-finish straight with the aid of DRS and the slipstream, plus the poor exit for the Ferrari. He's going to go up the inside. Can he do anything at turn 1? He's gone really, really cautious. He's held it in 5th. He could have had that move done actually as he ran through turn 2. It was extremely cautious. He's actually got Nicky to deal with now as well. Notorious must have fallen off the track or something. Yeah, well, whatever's happened, he's fallen behind the Renault driver. Just seen there, Voigt's car, who retired a few laps ago, actually was complaining of some lag issues from the Force India. No fudge for you. We'll have to see what that is all about. But Craig now makes his way into 4th position, and he's going to be hunting down Mike, who in turn is really up behind Tactics. Of course, Tactics with the front wing damage, so he is also on damage limitation. Yeah, there he goes. He runs extremely wide at turn 12, and Mike sweeps to the inside, and he is going to pass the Sauber. That is job done. We have got Mike in the Mercedes into 2nd position now, and that will mean he could take 2nd place in the championship, depending where Notorious LIP finishes, or depending on where Notorious LIP finishes. But at this moment in time, the championship leader could fall to 3rd in the championship and be at risk from Craig fairly soon, depending on where Craig finishes, of course. Let's take a look actually at Craig, as he is currently defending from Nicky in the Renault. Nicky currently 10th in the championship. He has a win and a 2nd place to his name, but that is not how to do it. He has spun on the oh, and he's just smashed into the championship leader. He was sliding all over the circuit, he had dirt and dust on his tyres, he had no control over the car, swung back onto the racing line, and he's hit the championship leader, who was just passing by. But Nicky down to 8th place. Just as I was talking about how he has won in the past couple of races, he is out of this race. He's given up. He's clearly had enough there. But that is unfortunate. The Notorious is still going here, but I mean he'll be in with a 25-second pit lane. He'll probably be around. He'll be 8th or 9th. I mean, it depends on which Nitrogash is going to catch him now. He'll be 8th or 9th when he rejoins. And if Mike does indeed finish 2nd, then Notorious LP is going to be dropping to 3rd in the championship. We've got around 14 laps left in this race, or 13 at the end of this one. And a lot can happen yet. We've got Sir Spud now actually all over the back of Notorious LP, and LP is just dropping positions. I mean, there really is no other word for it. He is really, really struggling now. The softs are likely worn. The front wing damage is obviously dynamic in this game. It gets progressively worse if you push in the car. Bits fly off. It gets more and more severe. So he is going to be really struggling. I imagine his front wear is probably quite poor, having to sort the wheel, overcompensate for the front wing damage, turn in a lot, really slide through a lot of these medium to high speed corners, of which this track has many. At the moment he's just keeping Sir Spud behind, but I don't think that's going to last too long. I mean, look how quickly he's having to try and throw the car through the corners. Kilo is in the pits. He's gone for a set of ultras, so got a long stint for the ultra softs, but we'll see how that goes for him. No, he's gone for supers because this game can't make up its mind. Notorious, look at how much drag extending and corner cut he's doing, just trying to get ahead. No, Fudge gets a time penalty, likely at the yes, at the left-right section at 11 and 12. Head back to Sir Spud, who's chasing down the Ferrari. Look how slow the Ferrari is through that, but she caught him in the mid-corner. Ferrari going defensive, weaving all over the place. Oh, Sir Spud did not turn in there, and finally the Ferrari makes the decision to stop. Nitrous actually has fallen back from the leader. I don't know. We're actually going to follow with Notorious LIP. We're going to see. He's going to have a pit. He is going to have a front wing change as well, so that is going to affect how long his time in the pits is. Down to 7. His teammate is ahead of him, down to 8. You're going to look at Nitrous. He's coming along the start-finish straight yet, and he's going to pass him. No, he's not. No, that's Jamie Met, sorry. Oh, so many Ferraris. Yeah, there we go. He is a long way down, probably 5, 6, 7 seconds now off the back of the Red Bull. He is on the super soft tyre. He's got 12 laps to go. He'll be scoring 2 points in this position. Meanwhile, Delange will be scoring 12, so that is a 10-point advantage. So Delange will take the championship lead by 5 points, I believe, if the race finishes like this. Mike will currently score 10 points, and Notorious will score 2, so that's an 8-point advantage. And so Mike will also overtake Notorious LIP by 1 point if the race is to finish like this. So we're now going to have to see just whether the championship leader can catch up to the back of Nitrogash in the Red Bull. We're going to follow Craig now, actually, because he is right on the back of Tactics, who in turn is catching up to Mike. So we could be seeing a battle for the podium positions in the coming laps. There's a fastest lap for Sir Spud, 26.5 for him on the soft tyre. He's 8 seconds behind Craig. I think in 10 laps it might be a little bit too much to make up, but great pace from both Mercedes, actually. Obviously Mike running there in second, both of them qualifying fairly well. That's 5th and 6th position for them on the grid. And but yeah, then does get a 3-second time penalty. But throughout the course of the race, Mike has had good pace. Spud dropped back a little bit at the start of the race, and here comes Craig up the inside. Almost as contact. Tactics with the front wing damage, doing everything he can. He's going to... now Craig is looking up the inside. Is he going to have a go into the first left-right? This would be extremely brave if he does. I guess he knows Tactics has front wing damage. Tactics gets forced a little bit onto the grass, and Craig does make the move stick. The front wing damage is too much for the Sauber driver to deal with, and he falls down to 4th. That's Craig into 3rd place now. That would be 8 points for him. And that would put him on 41 points. He would remain 4th in the championship. But that would certainly bring him closer to his rivals were the race finished like this. Notorious LP down to 5 seconds behind Nitrogash, so it is possible that the championship leader can be limiting the damage to his lead a little further. He will need to score 5 points in order to maintain a lead, or at least hold on to a joint championship lead. For at least for 7 points, hold on to a joint championship lead. And that is P4, I believe, so that is probably a touch optimistic. Tactics have pit, though. He's pit for a set of ultra soft tyres. He is down to 8. Will he actually fall back behind the championship leader? He does indeed. Notorious LIP sets the fastest lap of the race. It's a 25.9 for him. He is up to 8th position, so that would only be a 4-point lead for Delange, and it will be equal between Mike and LIP in 2nd place. Although I believe LIP would assume the lead thanks to his 2 second places over Mike's 1 second place. Looking at Craig, he has a 3.6 second gap, I believe, to 3.5 second gap to Mike ahead of him. I think that's a little bit too much to make up. If we actually look here now down the field, Jamie Metz still struggling around on that broken front wing. Nitrogash is under pressure from Notorious LIP, who in turn could be coming under pressure from Tactics fairly soon, because Tactics on the ultra soft tyres is going to be looking to set fastest laps. Going to be looking to put pressure on, gaining in every corner, and look how much Notorious is being held up by the Red Bull, and Nitrogash does actually pit off of those super soft tyres, so it's going to give the position to LIP and indeed to Tactics. And now we're going to see how well Tactics does on those ultras. Can he actually hold on to the end plate of his front wing, make up some time, make up some positions? I think really only Notorious is possible for him, because Jamie is another 7.5 seconds up the road, and while I'm sure the pace on a set of ultras that does not wear, it would be fine to make up that time. Tactics will of course be suffering quite heavy tyre wear, as LIP gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. He is moving extremely erratically, but Tactics gets the same penalty. We've seen a lot of time penalties actually in this race, but there is Tactics already all over the back of LIP. He's probably about 1.5 seconds a lap quicker at this point. He's in the slipstream. LIP moves to the outside off the circuit. There's not a lot of defending he can really do, although he is going to try it. He's going to hold on to the try and hold on to the position, but he has to give it up. It cuts really far across the inside of the turn 12, the right hander there, and forfeits the position to the Sauber. The Sauber now 6.5 seconds off of the damaged Ferrari, Jamie Metz. And although I did say he will have a lot of... oh, there we go, Jamie's actually pit. Well, there you have it. So Jamie's come into the pits. Tactics is going to take 6th position. LIP will take 7th. So while that's not enough now, the deficit in the championship will be reduced to, I think, only 1 point. Or, no, 2 points, perhaps. Oh, I'm not sure. No, I think it'd be 1 point, actually. I think it's 4 points for 7th place, so... There you are. LIP with the damage limitation game. Playing it fairly well here. Not taking too many risks, as you see there. He didn't fight too hard for that position with core Tactics, actually deciding that possibly crashing out in a battle is worse than maybe taking a point less for the championship. Looking at Craig, he's only 2.5 seconds off of Mike, so he is catching him. Could Craig possibly take that 2nd place off of Mike? And obviously Mike now is not going to take 2nd in the championship. I think he won't quite manage that. He will remain 3rd. He'll be a lot closer, but he will remain 3rd. But if Craig takes the position from him, Craig could actually start challenging Mike for 3rd in the championship. Tactics with the fastest lap of the race, 24.7. Nitrogash and Jamie Metz fairly close together here. Ferrari with the Red Bull behind. What can he do? Not a great run through the final corner. Does get DRS, but I feel like he's far too far away at the moment. He might require a mistake from Jamie Metz to make a pass on this lap. Oh, Nitrogash drifting through that 2nd section of the turns 1 and 2 complex. Craig does 2.1 seconds, so he is catching. He is going marginally faster than the Mercedes ahead, and we are going to see now if he can catch him enough in the final few laps of the race. you look there, actually, there is, I think that's actually Kilo, actually. I think he's the lap, yes. The lap lap Williams, sorry, I think that is. Who gets, yeah, that is. Yes, finishing time of corner cutting. Unfortunately, nitric gas has dropped off the back of Jamie Met, but Craig is really catching Mike now. He's done 1.9 seconds. We will have 5 laps to go at the end of the next lap. And with that time, Craig is going to need about probably half a second a lap to catch him, which is actually pretty on the money at the moment. He is really, really driving quickly. But of course he then does have to pass the Mercedes. If the Mercedes does, actually the traffic that Kilo is creating for the Mercedes could play into Craig's hands here. If he just holds him up enough in the middle sector, perhaps, then Craig could be thanking his lucky stars and indeed the Williams driver. 1.6 seconds now, the gap. Delaney is pulling away from Mike at the front as well. The Haas driver has been driven a really solid race, actually. Reaping the rewards from the mistakes of the guys in front of him, but hasn't ever really put a foot wrong. He's just been driving very well, pretty quickly, very consistently. Not a lot more you could ask for, really. Here we go then, 25 laps out of 29 will be completed at the end of this one. Leaving just laps 26, 7, 8 and 9 to go. And leaving just those laps for this McLaren driver to try and make a move on the Mercedes for P2. All of these guys have driven impeccable races. Really not a lot more you could ask for from any of them. These guys, the only one not to have suffered some kind of front wing damage in this race, I believe. And so start the top 4 then, the only drivers without front wing damage over the course of the race. The gap opens up to 1.5 seconds again, so Craig possibly starting to lose some of the pace he did have. Yeah, 1.7 seconds now the gap. Oh, Mike has made a mistake. Mike appeared to run really wide through that right-hander. Yeah, he's lost almost half a second there. What has gone on? Mike really struggling here all of a sudden. He's 3 tenths up on his best, but I'm quite confused by that. So it's a 27.3. Craig does a 27 flat, so he's gained 3 tenths there. So a massive gain in the final sector, my word. It looks like Mike is struggling possibly with tyre wear. Despite the fact he hit a lap later than Craig, Craig seems to have managed his tyres better. He's still got great pace at the end of this really long stint. There's still a couple of laps left to go. The tyres could fall off yet, but right now the McLaren driver taking great advantage of the longevity of the softs. Seconds the gap again, so Craig seeming to lose time in the first and second sectors and maybe gaining it back again in that final section where Mike possibly isn't so strong. Worth noting as well, I was mentioning how Kilo could possibly pose a traffic issue, but he is actually not really being caught at all by either of these two. Obviously the fresher and faster super softs keeping him ahead of these front running guys on the more worn harder tyres. Oh, there we go. Who is that? Yeah, there we go. He gets out of the way. He must have made a mistake at the end of the lap. As I mentioned that he was a little bit ahead of these guys, but he's clearly dropped back. The gap 1.5 seconds, so he's lost a bit of time on that lap, has Craig. He'll have 2 laps to go at the end of this one. But he really needs to dig deep, make up that time, see if he can make a late pass. Honestly, I've not talked about corner cutting penalties here. I don't know if Craig or Mike have any. Let's take a really quick look. We have got Mike there. He has 1 warning, only the warning for Mike, and there is only the warning for Craig as well. So this is going to be an on-track battle, and that's one of these guys picks up a couple of warnings in the last few laps as they push as hard as they can. Craig making up that time again, 0.9 of a second. Mike makes a mistake at turn 11 and 12. He's run wide, and Craig is gaining along the back straight. He's going to tuck into the slipstream. Will he have a go at the inside into this right-hander at turn 13? He does not. He's going to wait for 14, 15, 16, and then the DRS zones to try and have a go. Sorry. Through the left-hand hairpin at the penultimate corner. And it's along right of turn 16, the final corner. He wants to get on the power early. Mike actually does that a little bit better, pulls away a touch in the traction zone. Through the first corner they come. Craig with a pretty nice line through there, but Mike actually holds the pace a touch better. Craig did slide a touch through there, and Mike holds on to the position for another lap, but that mistake really shows how these guys are pushing hard. Mike is absolutely on the limit, as is Craig. Craig getting four-wheel drifts through the corners. Absolutely maximum concentration for these two. Nothing else really happening. All the gaps fairly spread out below them, so this is what we are going to keep looking at for the remainder of this race. A bit of a mistake from Mike, but it's mirrored by Craig, and we're going to see if Mike makes the same mistake at turn 11 and 12 as he did last time. He does not, and Craig gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, and that may well have just blown his chance of taking second place. As we know, Mike does not have a penalty. We don't know if he's getting any warnings for running off the circuit, as he did on those past couple of laps. It remains to be seen. We're going to come round the penultimate corner for the penultimate time. Out onto the start-finish straight. I imagine Craig now is going to be praying that Mike gets a penalty and that he can make the move. Otherwise, it is game over for Craig's attempt at second place. Mike has actually gained a second and a half on Delange on that last lap. Let's just quickly check nothing's happened to the race leader. No, that is not the case, but he is dropping heaps of time to Mike, possibly running out of fuel or something. He's really not going quickly. He's going extremely slowly. I would imagine he's got barely any fuel left or something. No, his fuel light's not flashing. What's going on here? I'm not entirely sure why he's cruising so much. We'll have to... Oh, I clicked the wrong way. We'll have to see what is going on. Mike has a fuel light on. Craig has a fuel light on. The leader is really slowed down. He's sped up a bit again there. No, he has not. 2.2 seconds on the gap to the leader. Really weird to see him back off that much. Mike gets a 3-second penalty. So now can Craig do anything in this final sector? I think he's just too far away. Mike makes a bit of a mistake. Craig tries to carry as much speed through there as possible. He holds it in 5th gear. That's probably not the best shout through the right-hander. It's the penultimate corner now. There's nothing really to do here. And unless Mike makes a horrifying mistake on the exit of the final corner, it looks like he's going to hold on to that second position. Indeed, it is the case. Delange has backed off massively in the final lap. Delange is going to win. It's Craig in 3rd place. We've got Spud coming home in 4th, I believe. Great drives from the podium, a great drive from Spud to finish in 4th. We've got no Fudge in 5th. He has not had a great race, started 2nd down to 5th. Tactics, well, it might not seem great for the based on the reputation of the Super Salvers, but 6th place from a slightly lowly position on the grid is not too bad at all. The championship leader limits the damage to his lead as much as he can. He finishes in 7th place ahead of his teammate Jamie Met in 8th. We will have Nitrogash in the Red Bull as the final car on the lead lap. Kilo has finished the race. He'll pick up 1 point. Props him for carrying on after that first lap disaster. And here we go. Here is Nitrogash. Across the line, he will come to finish the race. And now the podium celebrations for these guys. And there you are, there is the podium. That is Delange with the win for Haas F1 team. We have got Mike in second, and that is Craig in third place. Great drives from all three of these guys. Once again. There you are, there are your finishing positions. Only Delange and Nitrogash were of the finishers without penalties, so well done to them. Delange takes the win and thus the championship lead. It is Mike in second, Craig will be third, it is Sir Spurt in fourth, No Fudge is fifth, Tactics is sixth in the Salver. Notorious LIP and Jamie Met 7th and 8th for Ferrari. Nitrogash is 9th and Kilo is 10th. Nicky, Voids, Clyde and Miles, the other retirements, the only retirements, sorry, the 4 retirements in this race. And there you go, that was the Australian Grand Prix Round 9 of Invictus Racing League's Formula 2 Championship. I have been your commentator, H Racing Green. Once again, it's been a pleasure. I'll be back next week with Round 10 from the Shanghai International Circuit for the Chinese Grand Prix, followed by Mexico and then Singapore to round out the championship in 3 weeks' time. I hope to see you then. Until the next time, guys, good night.